The sum of 800 million naira has been granted to 9 non-governmental organizations and their technical partners to implement various projects targeted at addressing decades of marginalization of the original inhabitants of the FCT. Executive Director, Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, Dr. Ibrahim Zikirullahi, reviewed this in Abuja during the grant signing ceremony for the project, tagged Project of Promoting the Rights of the Original Inhabitants of the FCT.
CHRICED is confident that the process we have begun will effectively and sustainably position the original inhabitants in the FCT to address the root causes of the decades-long marginalization, discrimination, and other pervasive forms of human rights violations. As such, the various grants to be signed today represent a diversity of initiatives which would collectively address the injustices meted against the original inhabitants, while supporting an equitable recovery from the devastation imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Some of the project addressees, political participation, economic issues, marginalized groups, which includes women, youth, people living with disabilities, among others. The MacArthur Foundation, which has been instrumental to the realization of this development program, sees it as an opportunity to do the right thing.
I've heard CHRICED say to you today that about 800 million has been set aside for these 9 organizations, and I've seen the presentation by the erudite professor, and the presentation has focused on contractual matters and why it is important to ensure that we keep our word. And I couldn't emphasize that a whole lot more.
Traditional ruler of Karshi stressed the need for more advocacy to enable citizens familiarize themselves with the plight of the original inhabitants.
We have found out that a lot of Nigerians who live here, or who have lived here for many years, simply do not seem to understand the plight of the original inhabitants of the FCT. And this is because there has not been sufficient advocacy.
Guest lecturer at this event appealed to NGOs not to detract from the legal obligation of the MOU, as saying they must fulfill their own part of the bargain to ensure judicious use of the fund.
We have all undertaken to do this work because we have exposed ourselves that we have the capacity to do it. Like I said, if you don't think you have the capacity, please sign off. Because it is an onerous responsibility, it is a responsibility that is undemanding, it is a responsibility that is in the interest of the less privileged, and therefore we must expose our capacity.
One of the 9 original inhabitants organizations had this to say.
And I want to assure the CHRICED and the MacArthur Foundation that this morning I'm going to utilize it to touch the people in a grassroots and the people of the original inhabitants, both the indigenous and the non-indigenous of FCT. I want to assure you that I will not put the CHRICED and also the MacArthur Foundation into shame.
As a way of boosting the capacity of the organizations for the task ahead, a 4-day training on programs, communications and financial management will begin in earnest.